based upon what the fellows have told me, is based upon a simple idea. You build a bunch of buildings, you stack a whole bunch of folks in very close proximity to one another, in a very dense arrangement of structures, and then, because all of that population is upstairs, as they come down, they energize the podium level, which is the mezzanine and the ground floor, to such an extent that you can sell food, beverage, retail, casinos, anything you want, because there's so many people. So you put a lovely looking shopping center, casino, pool, bars, restaurants downstairs, and besides there's congestion in Las Vegas, everything is in one place. And that density creates a vortex of concentrated energy. That's the idea that has been promulgated, that is the underlying dynamic of the city center concept. It was also the underlying idea of Cotai for the Sands, the Venetian and Sands Company in Macau. Now, what that seems to me, if I can look for a comparable, that is Times Square. That's Times Square. A lot of activity, tremendous buzz. Now at Times Square, they sell MP3 players, McDonald's hamburgers, and movie theaters. There's tremendous population, but the retail sales are, the most valuable property is not Times Square in New York. It's wherever there's a tree. It also reminds me that that concept is the underlying philosophy of the Ginza in Tokyo. The Ginza in Tokyo is not the most expensive property in Japan. It's somewhere else. This notion of focusing this energy at such an intense level, and I think it's going to open, and I'm told by my friends it's beautiful. It is a radical idea. 2,700 condominiums. It's a radical idea. It presented unto itself challenges never before seen in Las Vegas or any place else. Could you sell 2,700 condominiums? Well, the answer so far is no. Would people pay 2x per foot? And they signed contracts for 2x before they knew what x was, the cost. That's created a problem for them. They sold product at a fixed price without knowing what the cost was. That's given them some more heartburn. Nevertheless, the shopping center was done by David Rockwell. The interior design, I understand, is beautiful. The Aria Hotel was figured out and designed by a kid named Bob Baldwin that worked for me for 19 years, who was one of the most smartest guys who worked for me. But basically, putting 20 million feet or 19 million feet on 65 acres is a very complicated thing to do. To give you an idea, the lady, that lovely woman who was so kind a moment ago, said she liked Bellagio. Bellagio's on 65 acres, the same as City Center. Bellagio is 5.8 million feet before they added the last 1,000 rooms, so let's call it 7. Bellagio is 7 million feet on 65 acres. Wynn is on 65 acres, and it's 6 million feet. If you add Encore, it's on 85 acres, and it's 9 million feet. Can you put 20 million feet on one piece of property and execute the exchange on a 24-hour basis of humans, customers, supplies, garbage out, supplies in, employees changing 3 times a day out, and new employees in, 13,000 of them. These are daunting challenges. There were questions about the scope of that project and its ambition from day one that I personally could not understand. But I've been educated by what others have done all my life, and City Center may be an education for me. But at the present moment, I have more questions than answers about that project.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
How is Macau impacting Las Vegas? And the second part of the question I lost.
Do you have, like, throughout the United States, are people more likely to do a one-day trip to a next city or to their local racetrack?
Oh, and the fact that there's proliferation of gaming around the United States. Okay, well, we always thought that if there's gambling in California, there'd be end of Las Vegas, right? There's 150 Indian casinos in California in '07, and Las Vegas broke every existing record in room rate, casino win. The greatest days of Las Vegas with the most amount of rooms was when there were casinos in California. It seemed to create customers and provide sort of a farm system for, see, Las Vegas is sort of not about gambling anymore. It's about a whole experience, thank goodness, which is what riverboats are not. Riverboats are doing well now and are experiencing less of a drop in business than Las Vegas because they never had the retail and the high-end gambling to begin with to lose. So the local markets are doing okay. They have not had an effect on Las Vegas except to create business. China's effect on Las Vegas has been fabulous. We have said, and others have agreed, that the most terrific thing that ever happened to Las Vegas was that 3 Las Vegas companies were able to get concession agreements, which is really a contract with the government, to operate in the People's Republic of China in the Special Administrative Region of Macau. We met an entire universe of mainland Chinese customers that we would never have met before. And they have made their way from Wynn Macau to Wynn Las Vegas absolutely before the recession. And it's been great for us, terrific. So the proliferation of gaming has not been a bad thing for Las Vegas. Now, in this kind of a market, if you add the capacity of City Center, what will be its impact on the other MGM hotels and all the rest of the Strip? That's a very interesting question, which seems to me to have been a question that should have been answered before they broke ground, not after. Company that owns City Center owns 10 hotels in Las Vegas.